Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a phenomenal day. Quick peek over here at ICP, double checking a couple of things. Happy Friday to you as well. For what it's worth, I know people are like, wait, how can you be happy on a day like this when the market's totally red? Well, the truth is I am optimistically happy in general, but I recognize that this market is the way that it is. And there's actually some really good stuff going on here too. But by the way, Bitcoin dominance is pulling back. Helping altcoins slow the bleed. We can also see CME futures has been filled for Bitcoin CME gap. And then of course, Bitcoin holding like a champ at the $67,000 mark, printing a nice hammer doji candle. So those are all favorable things for the moment. Can that change? Absolutely. But it does reflect positively for ICP because we swept this lower level liquidity. At least I'm expecting that lower level to have been swept. I think there was a decent amount there if I recall correctly. So we'll take a look at that. And much more. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment below, greatly appreciate it. And just make sure that you learn as much as you can. That's the whole point of this, right? So obviously, become a child of study, and you will, I can assure you, you treat this like a business, and you'll get those kind of results. At least a good, flourishing business. You got to use good risk tolerance, and those are things that hopefully I can help educate you on. So we can see these lower levels of liquidity. Previously, yesterday got swept. We saw this extra greed here today. Big surprise, greed in the market. That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Crypto greed? I don't know. I'm being facetious, of course. This is very standard stuff here. Whales just got a ton of money, and everyone else is just kind of sitting on their thumbs, wondering what the heck just happened. Well, the truth is, this is fairly expected, and when you have large amounts of liquidity, specifically for Bitcoin, which we saw a majority that got swept, coins like this are going to have that happen too. It's just kind of a normal rinse and repeat. Now that that's done, all the nonsensical stuff could be in the past, and we may very well start to see some alts recover. So I'm not saying ICP is in the clear. I'm just saying that we got some of the worst behind us for the moment. Pending Bitcoin doesn't take a nosedive to sub 65,000, we should be in pretty decent shape. So there's that. All right, so there's always that caveat that Bitcoin could be a complete pain in the ass and destroy all sorts of accounts, which it kind of already did here, but this was just this is a small correction, very standard and fairly expected. If you've been watching my shorts on YouTube or TikTok, you'll know I've been talking about that pretty consistently. While it's not specific or relevant to ICP, understanding how Bitcoin works is a very important and paramount thing you can do for yourself. So if you're new to the trading environment, just become a Bitcoin fanatic as far as understanding how it works, how it moves, how manipulation occurs in the back end, and you're going to be much better suited to trade coins like this. Either way, this coin is not paired well with Bitcoin. In other words, it's falling a lot harder than Bitcoin is and not recovering as well as Bitcoin does. So it's almost inversely paired, where we see a 2x to the bottom, like a half x to the top. So generally speaking, you want to wait for these coins to kind of bottom out before you take any trades. You could say we're bottoming out. We do have a very large double bottom-ish type of scenario here, where we're bottoming out twice. So we could be entering the bottom, and I do really think that with all this volume here, this lower price point, there's a solid chance that this level will hold. We've seen it happen. I mean, shoot, you could even argue there's a triple bottom, a very ugly one, but suffice to say, there's a lot of support in the $11 to $12 range, okay? So we're there right now. What does that mean? Well, we're below all moving averages minus the 200. 200's so far holding at this level. Losing that would not be great. By the way, if we lose the 200-day SMA, it doesn't mean the price is going to drop out. It just tells us that we're officially bearish. It's not a good thing, okay? We are also below all moving averages here. Stochastic RSI, everything's kind of looking bearish, but with stochastic pulling back down, there's a solid chance we'll get a relief rally soon. If you look at this is when stochastic RSI was bottomed out. So we could very well see just a week's worth of nonsense, and then inevitably the price decides to rip back up to the upside. So there's a possibility of that, okay? Not saying that's a probability, but it's possible. MACD is diverging. Everything's looking fully bearish right now, so there's really no reason to take a long position. If you do, though, folks, I would recommend that you just use low leverage and low position sizing. Try not to be, one of those idiots online that does 50 to 100x leverage just because you can brag about it. Again, it's okay that you do that if you use a position size that you're comfortable with losing, because you will lose it eventually. You'll never truly be a consistent trader with that kind of leverage. The margin for error is so high that it makes no sense to do it. Again, I've trialed and errored a lot of strategies over the last 20 years, and I can tell you that's not a good one. All right, so anyways, just something to think about. I like to educate as much as possible. Again, if you want to become a better trader, I would recommend trading in my community, of course. We've got a phenomenal group over there, and it's been a lot of fun, but that's a conversation for another day. Link down below if you're curious. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. So 4-hour time frame, moving averages below all four, not great. We're below this descending trend line. We're barely holding above this flag pattern here. We need to get that wick down. And then of course we can kind of see we're still under 50 on the RSI. Everything is screaming bearish behavior. The only thing I would say that's kind of a slight consolation is that our RSI and our money flow index is getting kind of low. Generally, when you see those hit this 30 to 20 mark, there's a solid chance we're going to see the price bounce back. We could even be seeing that happen right now. Again, Bitcoin stabilized at 67,000. I think we'll start to see ICP slowly crawl back up. But we shouldn't expect any type of behavior like this to the upside immediately, because that doesn't make any sense. Again, most coins, specifically ICP, has a tendency of, it usually establishes a higher high and higher low first before it takes off. Every situation is different, but we're hitting that extreme bottom, and I think that we're due for a correction soon. So my guess here is that we're going to see a leg rally soon. It just depends on Bitcoin not having a consistently bad week or month or day, right? Right now, so far, Bitcoin's not overperforming in its range. It's been a complete nightmare to try to trade, so ICP is one of those two. Okay, last but not least here, let's go ahead and see where we're at with the cloud. This is actually one of those ones that's not super terrible. While it isn't great, everything's showing us bearish. It's basically saying you shouldn't close your short position just yet. It doesn't imply you short the bottom, okay? I'm trying to reiterate that and reaffirm that here today with a lot of people, because people were like, should we short? We've broken bearish. Well, it's premature to consider that. We need to have a bearish backtest first. We haven't had that here, nor have we had that on Bitcoin or other coins so far that I've seen. So my presumption here is that the price action will either hold, or worst case scenario, price comes down here to retest again. That's when we maybe consider a short. You want to break through a support level and test it as a resistance before you take a trade to the downside. Inverse, of course, to the upside as well. So right now, I think it's premature to consider shorting just because we've lost a quote-unquote support level. We still technically haven't. This hammer doji is pretty strong, and we're seeing the same thing with Bitcoin too. Like, look at how strong this hammer was, or basically a type of doji candle that in most cases reverses itself. Okay, so anyways, just little things you can think about. I hope this made sense, and I know those of you are like, I clicked on this. This is supposed to be a prediction. What's the problem? What's going on? Well, the prediction is that it's not going to continue lower, and it's not going to be a good trade worth taking right now. So I need you to kind of start realizing that when you analyze charts, 95% of it is figuring out why you don't want to take a trade. There's no reason to take a trade with this coin right now. I don't want to short the bottom, and I'm not going to take a long without confirmation. That's just me personally. So what are your thoughts? Comment below. Love to hear it. All advice or all insight comments are welcome. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Comment below if you get a chance. Like the video. Join us on Twitter, Telegram, TikTok, Twitch, all that good stuff. Oh, sorry, not Twitch. That's the only thing I'm not. It's the only T that I'm not that I don't have right now. Either way, thanks again so much for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one.